I'm just curious if anybody watching my videos ever has issues with binging. For me personally, every time I try to cut all the bread and the sugars or the milks, just kind of anything that turns to sugar, I've cut back a lot on the oils and things of that nature. I notice that I can make it about 3 to 4 months, and then I usually end up having some sort of a binge. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this. There's some theories that it has to do with restricting your diet for so long that you get bored or your system sort of acts out. One of my theories is that your body starts to believe that a lot of these foods in us, if we've been eating them for years and years and years, are part of our system. And I think that the body thinks it's protecting us or doing us a favor, sort of like if your blood sugar or your blood pressure starts to take a dive, your system will send you a craving for something to raise it, or if it gets too high, sometimes your body will kind of turn off the cravings for certain things to lower it. And so I was doing really well. Like I said, it's been about 3 months that I hadn't had any sugar and only about 4 pieces of bread. And then I went out with my kids to the fall festival this weekend, and I had decided just to do sort of a partial fast and go out for the day. And while I was out and about, of course, there was all this garbage food at this place. They had burgers and hot dogs and sweet treats and all kinds of things. And I was doing really good not eating anything. And then my granddaughter had a cheeseburger there, and she hadn't finished the cheeseburger. And I said, well, maybe I'll just do a couple of bites. And I had about 4 bites. And I made it on just those 4 bites for about 6-7 hours. I didn't eat. And when we got home, all of a sudden, I'd been looking at this couple of treats that they had made there. They had cookies, and they had this, it was called a pumpkin spice roll. And I'd been looking at it for a couple of days, staying over there, at least the whole day before. And I was kind of tempted to eat it, but I said, well, I'm just not going to eat that because I have neuropathy and the sugar makes my feet hurt really bad, and it wires me up too much. And then when I got back home, I don't know what happened, but I just totally lost it. And I went in, and the second I walked in the door, I seen them cookies and that pumpkin spice roll, and I just started stuffing it down, like I hadn't eaten in weeks, and I just kept eating and eating. And then this morning when I got out of bed, I jumped right up and started stuffing chocolate cookies in my mouth. It was just crazy because I was doing so well. And I was just curious if anybody here has ever experienced any problems with binging. If you have, I would love if you would comment below what your experience has been like, or if there's anything that you've found to sort of curb this behavior. Because although I've lost 40 pounds and I'm a health coach, I still do struggle with temptations and cravings from time to time. But like I was saying, I think that sometimes the system starts to think that it's like part of our body. And we've been putting it in for so long that the body says, oh my God, mayday, mayday, we're running out of fat in the butt cheek or in the thigh. Or it seems like when stuff starts to break down and pass, maybe it just, like when the fat breaks down, it passes into or enters into our bloodstream and goes right to your brain and causes cravings. So I figure it's either because of that it's breaking down and entering the bloodstream, triggering the craving, or it's that my body thinks that something is going down, like whatever's in the bread or in the sugar and all that garbage starts to go down, and the body thinks something's wrong. And then it sends sort of a craving that it seems like my hand and my brain disconnect and I can't control myself. And I was just wondering if anybody out there ever has that same issue. Now, one good thing that I've noticed is that the longer I go and I stay away from different types of foods, I'm starting to get more and more control, and I'm getting over it a lot quicker. Where back in the day, I might have binged out on 4 or 5 boxes of chocolate bars in a few days, and this time I only ate, like, say, 5 cookies, or I ate 3 slices of that pumpkin roll and a couple of cookies, where back in the day, I might have ate the whole dang package of cookies. So it does seem like it's getting a lot better the longer I go. Also, please remember to subscribe and like my channel. And if there's any topics that you'd like to talk about, please let me know in the comments below. And also let me know if there's anything that I could do to improve my videos. I'm new at this, and I just want to make a video that's very helpful and that's actually interesting and that people want to engage with. I do have a Facebook group. It's called Fitness Freak. With a capital letter A, the number 2, and a capital letter Z. You can look for it in the comments. I can post the link there for you if you like. If you would like to learn more about fasting or low caloric diet or different types of exercise routines, And I also will be talking a little bit about personal development and anything, involving self-improvement, personal growth, things of that nature. I'm into anything involving physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Yeah, so thanks. I really appreciate your comments below. Maybe somebody's got a tip or a trick that would help me and anyone else that's watching the videos, or anybody in the audience. I'm just curious if anybody watching my videos ever has issues with binge.